welcome back to A Minute with Chelsea. This is our guide in Iceland. His name is Arni, and he is wonderful. It is our last day in Iceland as hobbit hikers as a group, and that is so crazy to me that it's finally coming to an end. We are spending our last afternoon at Krauma, which is a hot springs geothermal spa, and it's one of my favorite places because it's super chill and super quiet and not very crowded. There are about 5 or 6 different little hot spring hot tubs you can relax in, and each one is a different temperature. There's like a little sign outside each pool to tell you how hot or cold that pool is. Plus, there's like a little infinity pool overlooking this beautiful like landscape and scenery, so it just feels, it's like a lot of sun, but it's just really nice. Also, a random dog showed up. He had a collar, he was fine, but he is having a great time playing with the water. I don't know where he came from, but he was happy. There are a bunch of houses nearby, so I'm sure he just wanders over to hang out. The spa also has a relaxation room, which is silent, so you can go in there and read or be on your phone, but you can't chit-chat, and it's more quiet with like a nice little fire. After we soaked and did the cold plunge, I did not really do the cold plunge. I put my leg in and said, I'm done. I also put my wrist in because I sprained my wrist somehow today, and everything I do is hurting. Then we did the wet sauna, and then we went inside and took showers and got ready, and then it was time we ate a little bit of lunch at Krauma because it was so good. Also, it is Loma's birthday, so we played Birthday Bitch one time for the birthday bitch, and we listened to our favorite song, which is Bad Bitch in Reykjavik. That was our soundtrack as we drove back to Reykjavik, of course. We got to the hotel, and we had about an hour until it was dinner time, so Shelby and a couple of us ran to Mjúk, and it's the hat store with the PomPom hat. It was me, Shelby, Annalise, and Becky. We're running down the street to get to this freaking hat store before they close and before dinner starts because I really wanted a hat with the big balls. And I got to see how she makes it, and it's super cool. Like, she took off whatever pom-pom I didn't want. This is Shelby's hat. And then she would go in and she would fluff them and make sure they matched in size and color. She would beat the shit out of them on the table, which I thought was funny. And then she put them in this little steamer machine and made them all floofy again. And then she sewed them on one by one with a needle using these little ribbons that are attached to them. Something about my neurodivergent autism brain loves a process. Like, I love a montage in a movie. I like when things go in order. I love to watch the things, like the order of how things are done. So me watching her put these pom-poms on, I was like, do it again. I love it. I went with the double pom-pom because I think it makes my head look better because I have a really little head and not a lot of hair. So I felt like putting 2 pom-poms would be a better option for my tiny, weird little head. Plus, I wanted to be like Ginger because she has her double pom-pom hat that you've seen a million times in all of these videos. As you're listening to this voiceover and watching her put my hat together, I'm going to let you know what I'm doing today in real life because this was filmed back in March. And it is now April Fool's Day. I am not April Foolsing you. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing today. Look how cute my head is. I love it. I love it. There I am with the ginger pose. Today, on April Fool's Day, I am going to get a brain scan. And I'm going to have them look at all the parts of my brain that may or may not be lit up and happy and full of the right chemicals. And to tell me which parts of them, I guess, have like an earth scar on them. I am about to start transcranial magnetic stimulation therapy, which uses magnetic pulses to stimulate parts of my brain. It is for PTSD and depression and also OCD, which I struggle with most of those things as it is. I'm not diagnosed with OCD, but I struggle with a lot of the behavior. So, they scan your brain and they do it once a week, and then they can see like a map of what parts of your brain aren't lighting up. Then they can target the area that they need to put the magnet therapy on and stimulate to improve my brain function and make things better. Anyway, we're having our farewell dinner in Iceland right now and saying goodbye to our guide. We gave him his card and his tips. We also gave Loma her birthday card and said happy birthday. And we had to say goodbye to lots of people, and it's always so shitty and hard. And I tried to stop hugging Arnie and he didn't let me stop. And I'm so autistic and not good at hugging. And he held on to me for a long time, and then he said, now it's getting weird, and he laughed so hard, and I just love that little man. And then he said, follow me on Instagram, and I did, and his name is Arnie the Guide. And he also said, if you ever come back to Iceland, you just text me, like message me on Instagram, and I'll hang out with you. I'll drive you around. I don't give a shit. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, not as your tour guide, but like, y'all are fun. I like the hobbit hikers. I'll hang out with you. And that's always our number one compliment, when our guide loves us and makes us feel like family. And then we were all walking back to the hotel after we said bye to Arnie. And some people I won't see again after tonight because I have to get up super duper early in the morning because my flight is at like 6 a.m. Also, please enjoy all of us just screaming and clapping over this little cloak. We're all so proud of it. And we're like, well, that is a perfect purchase, girl. We're so happy for you. So I said goodbye to most of the hobbit hikers, the ones I won't see in the morning. And then we stopped by at this gas station to get some squashies because obviously we have to take some home. But then on the way back to the hotel, we freaked the hell out because we looked up and we could see the northern fucking lights. And I was like, How and why and how? Because we're in the middle of downtown. And meanwhile, while we were doing that, Loma and Echo had laid their wet swimsuits outside to dry and they froze solid. Now, you're not even going to believe this, you guys. Like this, everybody, all the people were outside because the lights were showing up in like over the ocean. So we thought this was amazing. And this is without a filter. This is just like the naked eye kind of holding up my camera. But then as we walked back to the hotel, it got better and better to the point that we were like, this is fucking crazy. So like, I know you can't see it in this, but you're about to see it. Just wait. It is so much. And I'm in shock. So then this girl walks by with these pink pants and this green hair. And she's like, Americans. And I was like, how do you know? And she was like, because you're very loud and you're screaming over the northern lights. And I was like, how are you going to go to bed on a night like this? And she goes, I will sleep very well, because she's used to it. And then she came back after like another 20 minutes and she was like, do you guys want to come over and drink at my house? And I was like, kinda. Here she is. Look, she came back with her popcorn. She was like, you guys can come over and drink. And I was like, I kind of want to, but I also don't want to miss the lights. And she was like, we could do like karaoke and like have a little concert and have a good time. And I was like, I kind of want to. So we decided not to, but then we decided to keep walking to see if we could see more northern lights. So we walked toward her apartment. So we kind of felt like she looked like the Aurora Borealis. She was pink and green. So we followed back to her apartment and we looked up and this was the sky. This is just with the naked eye. Like this is not a filter. This is not long exposure. That's just what it fucking looked like. This is with long exposure. So we're just like, are you fucking kidding us? We're freaking the fuck out right now, because how is this real? This is the most I've ever seen the northern lights pop. Like, I think I even said, she's popping that pussy in the sky tonight. Like, what the fuck? It was across the entire sky. It wasn't just a little bit. It was all of it. And we're singing Dancing Queen here. And it's amazing. And we were crying. We were hugging each other. I've never seen anything like it. This is a time lapse of the dancing. You could see the dance. Like, look at that. Without a filter. I don't care if this is old news to anyone else. If it doesn't matter to you, it matters to me and it matters to all of us. We were just, I don't have words for it. This is a phenomenon this is a natural miracle to me. Like, I came here to see this, and on my very last night, it popped the fuck off. And then it was time to get ready for bed and to say goodnight and to warm up because we were so fucking cold. But like, we're just stupid. This is us in the hotel elevator area doing the ginger pose, and Shelby saying goodnight to Becky because we won't see Becky in the morning, and me saying bye to Becky and Annalise. And then Shelby and Annalise's room was across from mine, like across the courtyard. So we filmed each other acting like absolute crazy animals. And yes, of course, this is what we did. And it was just so much fun. And I can't believe this was an experience I got to have. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll let you know how the brain scan goes. Follow me on YouTube.